What's the crack? What's that bleeding story? I'll tell you what the fucking story is. We're top of the league, baby. Fucking delighted. You know what I want to say is, all fucking Sky and all. I was looking at the Spurs game in and out yesterday and fucking jizzing all over Harry fucking Kane and all. Ask me bollocks, Sky. And then fucking Man City on and look, Man City are quality. They'll probably win the league. But look, we're up there. You know what I mean? I don't think we'll win the league, but I certainly do think that we're well on our way to get top four, hopefully. You know what I mean? I'm fucking delighted. I have to give the team praise. I have to fucking give them credit. I have to give a big shout out to Mikel Arteta. When I seen the starting lineup, I was very fucking nervous. And I'm not going to be negative. Not going to be negative. He had to do what he had to do. You know what I mean, with the starting lineup and Odegaard and all, and Zinchenko out and stuff like that, and the players that he put in. Well done. You know what I mean? Vieira was fucking outstanding today. Delighted for him. I hope we have a good little baller there. You know what I mean? I really fucking do. I'm just over the moon with this. I was pissed off with the United game and that we didn't play games and stuff like that, and it was dragging on, and I was just fuck's sake. And I was a bit nervous about the reaction today. Are we going to get a reaction? Are we going to win? Are we going to fucking blow our beans and lose and stuff like that? I'm just fucking really, really fucking happy and delighted for a change. And I'm going to just throw a few lads in here. What's the bleeding story, lads? How are you doing?
What's the crack, Del Boy? Hiya, Manny.
Yeah, Mr. Walsh, all good. You know the story, Del. We are top of the league, and the crack doesn't begin until you're in the building. Lovely to see you both.
Well done. Kyle, I'll start off with you, buddy. How did you think the performance was today?
I thought we dominated Brentford. Not that many teams scores to Brentford and dominate like we did today. We dominated from minute 1 up to minute 90. I thought it was an outstanding performance. Big up to Arteta. He really is starting to show us that he could be the right man there, boy. Things are looking good. I'm not getting overexcited just yet, but at the moment we're doing very well. I thought overall great performance there from the boys, and a big shout out to Xhaka. He's like a new player. I don't like the man, you know that. I absolutely can't stand him. But Jesus Christ, he's playing good football there, boy. You have to give credit where credit is due, man. So yeah, happy enough, and I see we have a great panel here today. Big up to Steve-O and big up to Warren, and obviously yourself, Del Boy, and Manny. Great panel.
Fair play. And I'll tell you, I just want to first of all apologise to everyone. It was supposed to start at 2 o'clock. Next thing, me mammy knocked around, and you know yourself, I had to, look, mammy's knocking around, I have to, have a cup of tea with her and stuff like that. Your mammies are important, all right? So, I apologise for that. But yeah, look, I just want to say, Aussie Gunners in the building, and Warren, what's the bleeding story? Aussie, we're even fucking bringing people from fucking Australia in. What's the story?
Oh, mate, performances like that are the fucking story, mate. Like, that was... The first 10 minutes, I was saying on Northside's channel ago, I'll know what Arsenal's going to show up in the first 10 minutes. And dominating possession, unfazed, unscathed after the Man United game. And in the first minute, it could have been 1-0. To be honest, I think every single player on that pitch, no one got under a 7. No one. I think every single fucking player there put in a fucking shift. Vieira gets himself a fucking goal. I was giving him shit, and I go, I hope he fucking proves me wrong. But Vieira gets himself a cracker fucking goal. And Granit Xhaka, just like Kyle was saying, I think this season he's been given a different role, and it's more of a number 8, more to go and to play a little bit further forward. And that's why we're noticing him a lot more. He's getting in a mix of the attacks. In this game, Granit Xhaka could have had 3 assists. Easily. Yeah. Martinelli was an opportunity. He lost his footing, and there was a really good opportunity for Jesus, where Jack has lost his footing but still got the ball to him. So, dude, I'll be honest with you, it's a great problem to have right now, to have William Saliba, who could be man of the match, Granit Xhaka, who could be man of the match, or Gabriel Jesus to be a man of the match in every single part of the pitch. You know what I mean? That's a great problem to have.
Yeah, I have to say it as well. Like, you know what I mean? He was bleeding outstanding today. I have to give it to him. Like, you know, I was thinking of Kyle Walsh at the performance of fucking Xhaka. I was just there. I'd love to know what Kyle's saying. You know what I mean? And I want you to go on a rant now in a while when I get hold of you again. Well, Warren, big up to you, mate. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm good. How are you?
All good, mate. All good. What did you make of that performance? Well, we're talking about Xhaka. Go on. What do you have to say about Xhaka's performance today?
Oh, it was Liam Brady-esque, wasn't it? Listen, man, I don't know what to say about the game because my fucking stream kept freezing and fucking... So I could only see, like, about 10 seconds and it'd freeze. So what I saw, we looked like we was in complete control. We didn't look like we were phased at all. Looked like Brentford weren't really at the races. I don't know. They just looked like we controlled them perfectly. So I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased about Vieira that he got his goal, and what a fucking goal that was as well. An absolute banger. And I'm really happy for him because I was really worried about him at the start of the season because I thought he looked really lightweight and I thought he'd get bullied and he could end up getting seriously injured because he looked so small and slight. But what he did really well today. I mean, I still want him to spend a couple of weeks with Ozzy Guna and fucking do some intensive training.
Bring him over here. Bring him over here.
He'd be like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and fucking Simon.
I'll turn that fucker into fucking Vinnie Jones with a number 10 on his back. There'll be players, there'll be people running into him and falling down and calling out for cards and shit.
I just want to even look here what Craig was saying. Saliba won every header, was outstanding today. That we have something serious here, guys. He is a fucking baller. Like, he just makes the game so easy. Like, really, like, even when he's on the ball, you're relaxed, you're calm. You know what I mean? He done a ball today, and I think Tony was coming on him, and he sort of just turned and twisted him and fucking see you later, Ivan Tony. You know what I mean? Like, we like the contract. I think we're trying to get him to sign a new one. That is vital bit of business. I think we need to get done ASAP. Kyle, I just want to go around and talk to you, like everyone. The first half, who would have been your top player the first half? And we'll come to the man of the match then.
Yeah, I thought Xhaka was influential in that game today, to tell you the truth, there, boy. I know, I can't believe I'm actually
I'm so with you, but man, I'm like, me and you both don't like Xhaka, and you're saying it, and I'm fucking feeling the same way.
Absolutely. Steve, he was outstanding today, in fairness to him, and he has been for most of the season. But Steve, you said it there, and you're right. He's playing more of an advanced role. So you can notice him a lot more. And he's done well. And I think up top there, that ball that he gave Jesus was exceptional today for his goal. It was a brilliant crossover ball. Yeah. But, on saying all that, you still see the way he's a liability. He got that yellow card, no need for it. There was no need for that. We were 3-0 up, players were back in position, and he still got a yellow card. But that's Xhaka in a nutshell for you. But overall, Del Boy, I thought Xhaka was the outstanding player today. First half and second half. I thought his party is very important in midfield. You see how important he is. Even though I thought today he wasn't at his best today. He gave away possession quite a lot, I felt. But he's still an important figure there in midfield. So, overall, I'm very, very excited about what's going on. But we have a huge test coming up. Our next two games, Spurs and Liverpool. Now, let's see how we get on in those two games. We have to compete in those two games, Del Boy. If we get beat in those two games, there's a whole different fucking story then, Del Boy. Because it shows me we better get beat by Man United, Spurs, and Liverpool. And that was showing me that we're not able to compete with the top six, with the top four clubs in the game. And for me, we have to go now, be positive, and get two good results there against those two teams. Simple as that, Del Boy. It's all right doing it against Brentford and these lads. May I do it against the big boys in the next couple of when we come back from this fucking international break. What fucking bollocks.
Yeah, I know. It's look. This is it. What can we do? You know, Manny, captain today, Xhaka. Would you give him the captain's armband full time now, or what does he need to do?
No, but well, here's the thing. I think Kyle hit the nail on the head. As well as he's done this season, and as much as he's now, started to tone himself down, and sort of become a little bit more mature, there will still be some moments of madness in him, and for him to sort of try and force Ryan into a mistake as a means of trying to harass him, there really was no need for that. I mean, you were 3-0 up. I get you wanted a fourth goal, but come on, you didn't need to do that. And I mean, the fact that we're still critical of him for doing that is a sign of how far he's grown. But would I give him the captaincy? It really is hard to say. We were talking in early instances about someone like Partey being captain, and a lot of Arsenal fans still cannot really forgive him for his display of petulance, where he threw the shirt and the armband on the field and basically told us to go and do one. That sort of behavior is pretty much unacceptable, and I don't believe that any strong club would have forgiven a player for that. The fact that we've forgiven him and reintegrated him, it either shows that we love him too much and really respect his ability, or it just reflects the fact that we're thin on the ground when it comes to replacements for him. So, again, it'll be interesting to see, because there has been some talk on Twitter. I know Twitter's, it can't be trusted. We all know the score. We're all on Twitter. We know that it can't be trusted. We have to take it with a pinch of salt. But there has been some talk about how, with Vieira performing so well today, Odegaard wasn't missed. And I wonder if you'd agree with that, Kyle.
No, Manny. No. I think I'm not the greatest fan of Odegaard. Me and you understand that, Manny. We've had our discussions about that. But I overall think Odegaard is a more superior footballer than Vieira. Now,
Yes.
Vieira still has, he's only new. Let's give the man a chance. He played very well today. It was a great goal. So that shows me that he has a wonderful left foot. But I still think overall, Odegaard has that bit more experience. And I will pick Odegaard ahead of Vieira.
Agreed.
Both Vieira's still there. Give the man a chance. I hope we have a brilliant footballer in Vieira. Time will tell. But as we speak, if you ask me who to pick next week against Spurs, it'd be Odegaard ahead of Vieira.
That's fair. I mean, his experience, obviously. I would like to think that Vieira is in some ways a little bit more stronger and more mobile than Odegaard, and he certainly showed those qualities. So it is a nice dilemma to have in a way. And so would I give Xhaka the armband full time? I really can't say, because as things stand, Odegaard is still the club captain. He is still injured. And of course, with the international break, it will give him some time to recover from that injury. So he will almost definitely come back into the side, as we all accept. So no, I wouldn't give Xhaka the captaincy. But the jury will still be out. We still don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the season. And it could very well be that that the club might end up deciding that maybe, Xhaka might be better off having a new challenge elsewhere. We still don't know what will happen. So no, I wouldn't give Xhaka the captaincy. And another reason why I wouldn't have Xhaka as my man of the match is because, again, not just with his goal, but the way he was able to keep Ivan Toney quiet when he was isolated up front and not give him any opportunities to score. Saliba has once again got to be my man of the match, but he's also shown, ever since coming in, he's slotted in beautifully. Now, Warren, I want to bring you in, and I really hope that you won't take this as an insult, but do you see any similarities between Saliba and someone like David O'Leary, for instance?
That's a good question, because for me, David O'Leary was class. Absolute class. He was very comfortable on the ball. A lot of people don't recognise that with David O'Leary, but he was a good ball playing centre back, and he organised the whole the whole defence. Because I used to go and watch Arsenal, and I used to watch the defence because I was a centre back myself. So, and I used to watch him, and he would talk the whole of the defence through games. Like, he'd tell Willie Young, who was next to him, when to go, when to stay, when to go, when to stay, and as well as the two fullbacks as well. So he was like the leader of the team, and for me, he was class. I think that is something that potentially will come with William Saliba. I don't know if he's doing that because obviously I'm not able to go to games and I can't see whether that is what's going on. But then back in the day, the whole back four would be along in a line along the centre, the centre circle and the halfway line, and they would stand there, and then they would just drop back when the opposition got possession of the ball, and then they would move forward. But the fullbacks would go into attacking roles, but the two centre backs would just stay there. They wouldn't move unless they were going up for corners or set pieces and whatnot. But his communication was on point, and he was very, very talented on the ball. He could read the game really well. Saliba obviously reads the game very well, but what I can't see is whether he's communicating with the rest of the back four and whether he's organising the rest of the back four. I don't know, because that someone needs to take that responsibility. I don't know whether it's Gabriel who's doing it, whether it's him, whether it's Tierney, who it is, but someone needs to do it. But I think one of them, or at least both of them, it will happen in time because they're both really young. So yeah, that's my answer to that one, mate.
I just jumped in there for a minute there about that. Saliba is a brilliant defender. There's no doubt about it. But it's a different game these days than what it was. Like, I grew up watching David O'Leary, Tony Adams. So it was a different area of football. But if you had to, like, I think Saliba is managing the back four for us. I think he is communicating with the lads. But, and I'm not saying you're asking that question, Manny, but what I'm saying is he wouldn't be in the same category as David O'Leary or Tony Adams. He's the best defender we have at the club, and he is probably the best defender we've had at the club for many, many years now. And it's a brilliant sight to see because he is a brilliant defender, but he's not a David O'Leary or Tony Adams or a Martin Keown for that matter.
Yeah, I'd have to agree
get
with
that.
one.
I get that. Not yet. But he's go ahead.
Can I jump in a sec? I just wanted to say something else about it. What I think William Saliba needs is a top quality, experienced centre back next to him to guide him and bring him through games, or even at the club that he can go and talk to as well, you know, and coach him, because they're all of them are really young, which is fine, but at some point they need that guidance. And George Graham had it. He got David O'Leary and Viv Anderson to coach Tony Adams through games and whatnot when Tony Adams came through the team. And all you would hear from the stand, sorry on the Aussie Gooner, but all you'd hear was David O'Leary and Tony Adams screaming. David O'Leary and Viv Anderson screaming at Tony Adams, clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet, all the time. And that's what I'm saying. Because I'm not at the games, I can't see if that's going on. Because someone needs to do it. Because that's the big problem that we've got, is that we haven't got someone, in my opinion, who is top quality, but has got the experience to tell people, the youngsters, what to do in certain situations when it starts getting a bit squeaky bum time. You know?
I agree with that completely, sir. And you would think that someone like Per Mertesacker, who's won a World Cup with Germany and who has his experience, would be useful as a defensive coach in that regard. I really don't know what he's doing in that respect. But again, Del Boy, back to you. Saliba would be my candidate for man of the match, and I wouldn't give Xhaka the captaincy full time. No, let him enjoy himself as vice captain. Let him step in and let him hand the captaincy back to Odegaard if and when he's fit.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, Ozzy, who was your man of the match? Like, who you like? Xhaka, you saying, or
it's cut between William Saliba and Granit Xhaka. I am going to say Xhaka, mainly because
I'm clipping this.
Clip it. I'll clip it. I'll record the damn thing. I'll clip myself. I'll say Granit Xhaka because I always call it straight down the line. Saliba played very well. Saliba defensively, yeah, he was the best defender, out-and-out defender, and it's not by much. We're talking it's very fine margins. But the reason why I'll say Granit Xhaka is because I'm seeing Granit Xhaka in the attacking third. I'm seeing Granit Xhaka come back and defend. I'm seeing Granit Xhaka in the middle of the park. I'm seeing Granit Xhaka in too many areas. And at the same time, I'm seeing Granit Xhaka almost get 3 assists in one game, get 1. So I think his work rate in this game, I'm not saying Saliba didn't work, but I think his work rate defensively in the middle of the park, the transitions and the options that he opened up for Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli, who should have finished that, they were key. I think in this game, Brentford had a hard time in the middle of the park. See, Brentford want to hit us on the counter. They played 5 in the back. Now, they're playing 5 in the back. They want us to sit on them and try and hit us in the counter. They couldn't get through the midfield. And it wasn't just Partey. So a lot of people say, oh, Partey. Yeah, Partey was the anchor. That's right. But you also need a number 8 who can take the ball from the anchor and bring it forward. And I think Xhaka played the 8 role today very well. And at sometimes it's almost a 6. So I think Xhaka would have been my man of the match. But as a captain, no. Xhaka's not going to be captain for Arsenal. It's not about forgiving him for what he's done. It doesn't matter. You can't forgive that. No club can forgive that. So I think he knows. I mean, he's wearing the captain's armband, but I think full time he could be a great leader, but that ship has fucking sailed. He's unfortunately not going to get. In my opinion, he shouldn't be the captain for Arsenal. And on the Saliba thing, we were talking about who's commanding the backline. It's Gabriel. If you watch Gabriel on corners, if you watch Gabriel when it's zoomed in, Gabriel's the one barking the orders, telling who to pick up who. Now, I know Gabriel is a young defender, but when you've got a backline like ours, you don't have any sort of commanding defender because you don't have anyone there of age. So now it's going to have to be Lockapur, Matasaka on the line. It's going to have to be a coach on the line to be screaming at these defenders. And I think Gabriel Magalhaes, because he's been there the longest in the middle of the park, more than Ben White, because I think Ben White's a kind of guy who's a bit more timid, is a bit more vocal. Is he the better of the 2 centre-backs? No. But I think he's a lot more vocal. And I think that's the man who's leading the back line at the moment.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Warren, who was your man of the match?
It's difficult to say, really, because of the issues I had with... But...
personal problems, eh?
The fact Caliber scored that goal and the way he took it, that header as well, it was tough draw. But Vieira did really well as well. But yeah, I'd have to give it to William Saliba, I guess. I have to say about Xhaka, okay, yeah, he's playing well at the moment, but that guy, he's got too many mistakes in him and he's reckless. And it doesn't matter where he plays on the park, he ain't going to get rid of that. He ain't, like, not looking before you play the ball across your own penalty area. And playing the ball across your own penalty area is just something you shouldn't do. Kids have coached this when they're in primary school. You do not pass the ball across your own penalty area. And he did it at Burnley. And we're not even looking. And it went straight to the opposition and they scored. Sorry, but no. I wouldn't even have him in the team. He wouldn't be at the club. I'd have had him out. He's not good enough. And we need to get an upgrade. He's doing well at the minute, but he's going to do, at some point this season, if not on one occasion, on several occasions, he will cost us points. Either getting sent off or doing something stupid. I know. Captain, not a chance. Not a chance for me. I wouldn't even have him in the team. There you go. But at the moment, I'm tired because we've got so many bloody injuries, but that's the manager's fault. We should have done something to address it in the summer.
On the manager's point, like how did he do today, Kyle? Were you pleased with his the starting 11? What did you think?
I was nervy at the beginning when I saw the team sheets. Especially when I saw Vieira's name on it and stuff like that. I kind of thought to myself, we're in for a hard afternoon. But in fairness, I thought he got us tactically right from minute 1 to minute 90. I think Arteta's done a good job this season. Listen, you can't complain though, boys. There's 8 games gone, 7 wins. Is it 7 wins and 1 defeat? Is this?
Yeah.
What was it?
6 wins and 1 defeat.
6 wins and 1 defeat. So, you know, you can't complain about that. You can't give up with that. The jury is still out as far as I'm concerned. The jury is still out there by on him. He done well today, but the games that I expect us to fucking win, Del Boy. I expect us to beat Brentford. But get us into the top 4. But I'm just going to say this, Del Boy. I'm going to get this straight off my chest. I'm always saying this. I want us to win the Premier League. That's my standard. People might laugh at that, but that's my fucking standard. I want us to win the Premier League, at least challenge Manchester City to win the Premier League. And if we come second, I want us to finish just a few points away from Man City to show that we're at the fighting throughout the whole season to try to win, to compete to win the league title. That's my standard. And if Arteta don't fucking do that, and then at the end of the season, if you don't get us in the top 4, it's fucking bye-bye. But at the moment, as we speak, this season so far, Arteta is doing a good fucking job.
Yeah, 100%. Just want to say that guy's spamming. He's doing me fucking head in. Do me yourself a favour, yeah? Get a tissue, go upstairs to your ma's box room and have a wank, you dickhead.
He's a fucking wanker. Like, seriously, you're a banter club. You're like, bro, you want banter? Look yourself in the fucking mirror. If you want, right, go find yourself a fucking club to fucking follow. If you think we're a banter club, what the fuck are you doing in the comments?
Yeah.
Huh? What the fuck are you doing in the comments? What does it make you, bro? You're a shambles, mate. You're a shambles. You need something to fucking talk about. So, you're going to come in here and chat shit? Oh, fuck out of here. Get yourself a fucking camera and jump in on the stream if you like. We'll fucking end you here.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Fucking dope. Anyway, Oliver's in the chat. How are you, Oliver? Thanks for joining in. What did you make of the game today, buddy?
I think we're very good today. We pretty much destroyed them. We managed to stop their flow of play. I think we were just generally very good today.
Yeah, they were. Like, I have to, and as the lads are saying, like, not many people go to Brentford and put in a performance like that. Who was your man of the match?
I'm not really sure. I think it maybe Jesus, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, he did play well. What did you make of Xhaka?
I think it was good today. Potentially could have scored early on when Martinelli scuffed the shot. I think his crossing for Jesus' goal was exceptional. I think he played very well and was a good captain today.
Yeah. Would you make him captain, or would you keep him with Odegaard?
I think because of what happened in 2019, I think I'll keep Odegaard. I think he doesn't really seem to control the dressing room very well. And I think Odegaard does a better job.
Yeah, 100%. Manu, are we going to miss Odegaard if he's out long term? I don't even know how long the injury is. Do you know? Or
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I mean, all indications, Dale, seem to be that it might be a short-term injury, and it's not one thing that can't be resolved with an international break. That means, of course, he won't be playing for Norway, and it's a good thing because they're not even going to be in the World Cup. So I don't know if we're necessarily going to miss him long-term. If he is out long-term, then maybe it could be an issue, and that's another reflection of our poor squad depth in a way. Again, Kyle and I can have some backs and forth. We have our backs and forth about this, but this season I've started to see Odegaard for his limitations as a player. He may perhaps have some fancy touches and a decent left foot, and he does create quite a few opportunities, but I think some stats this season will determine that he's probably been a better goal scorer than a goal creator as such. And because he seems to be so slight physically, he certainly doesn't compare to a guy like Dennis Bergkamp or any of the great number 10s we've had playing for our club over the years. And if he's so slight and so susceptible to injury, then we might need to consider forming a game plan without him in a way, because when it does well and it comes off, he looks really, really, really good. But if it doesn't come off, he looks a little bit ineffective. And today, I wouldn't go so far to say that he was a massive improvement on Odegaard, but Vieira certainly looked a little bit good. He looked a little bit more physical. The goal he took was terrific. And he was willing to take a chance with his shot. You know, the great ice hockey player Wayne Gretzky always said it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's something Odegaard needs to learn to do a little bit more. So we do seem to have some good cover for Odegaard, but the prospect of Vieira playing long-term, if Odegaard has a long-term injury, the jury is still very much out on this Portuguese lad. And I'm still hoping that the injury won't be very serious and that he will come back. And of course, we can't talk about injuries without mentioning the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe, Cedric Suarez, and Zinchenko, and a few others who are also out. So again, we need to improve our squad depth, and we need to make sure that we are better prepared for injuries. And the gall that Arteta had to compliment himself for showing discipline and not making a panic buy when he literally went all the way to the last hour to try and sign Douglas Luiz, and that fell through. I swear that bloke drove me mad. But again, segueing back to your question on tactics, I think he got his tactics spot on today. I thought Frank actually lost the battle in midfield. Playing 5 at the back and only a 3-man midfield was never really going to counter the high press effectively. And I had hoped that he would revert to a 4-4-2, but Arteta was good today. But the big test will be if he can deliver those goods against Jurgen Klopp and Antonio Conte, as Kyle said. And that will not only determine our title challenging credentials, but it will really show us what chops Arteta has as a manager.
Ozzy, is he changing it around for you? Like, look, I'll be devil's advocate here. He's after winning 6 games. You know, we're top of the league. What's everyone moaning at?
Well, we give him credit because I can't. When was the last time we managed to get this many points in only how many games? I'm looking at the points and I'm trying to remember how long it took us previous seasons to get up to where we are with the points tally. So moaning, I think what we're screaming about as fans was the transfer window that's passed, maybe. To be title contenders, to be a team that's going to be able to go to the next level, yeah. We need to we need to be a bit more direct in the transfer window, not dilly-dallying and dragging our feet. So I think some of the fans are going to have the shits, and I had the shits, with the situation with the midfield. And I think it's still going to come to bite us in the arse. And I think the reason why we're going to have a bit of a bitch and a moan is because we know how the games are coming in thick and fast now. Partey being injury-prone, do you know what I mean? Odegaard's already out. El Neni's out for God knows how long. We've got the likes of Sambi Lokonga there. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, Fabio Vieira maybe showed us something here, but he's still an uncut diamond. So we're still hopefully going to hope he's going to shine and be great. I think that's the reason why most people are going to be moaning. At the moment, with the kind of football we're playing, spade to spade, we are playing an attractive kind of football. We're holding on to the ball. We're creating a lot of chances. We just need to finish our chances. And in this game, the only thing I'm going to call up on Mikel Arteta was why couldn't you give Marquinhos 10 minutes? You know, maybe pull him, get him in the 80th and maybe take Jesus off and give Marquinhos a bit more time. But apart from that, I don't think anyone can complain apart from the transfer window that's passed and maybe the fact that sometimes the substitutions, could come earlier or could be a bit better.
Yeah. Like, I suppose at the start of the season, everyone was sort of bigging up, the 5 substitutes going to help Arteta big time this season and stuff like that. Like, he hasn't really done it this much this season, I don't think. I may be wrong, with 5 subs. Maybe he didn't need it, and I can understand if you're winning, by a goal or whatever, you don't want to change it, and that's fair enough. But today, I 100% agree with you. I was screaming at the telly when Lokonga and Eddie were coming on. I was there, please send the guy on. Come on. It was, the 80th minute or something like that. 3 goals up. I thought he would have done that. But look, we won. We can't be sort of moaning. But Warren, I just want to ask you the same sort of question because you'd be a big-time Arteta out. So I want to ask you, why the fuck are you moaning? Stop bleeding moaning.
Well, mate, the reason that I'm not happy is because I'm happy we're top. I am. Of course I am. But there are issues for me looming on the horizon that could have been addressed in the summer, and we wouldn't be facing down the barrel of struggling to put a team out, particularly with the midfield. Because seemingly, by looking at the lineup today, we got Zinchenko missing, we got Emil Smith-Rowe missing, we got Elneny missing, we got Partey who's injury prone. That's four established players already, and we've only played 7 games. So, and he didn't do anything to really address this in the summer, in my opinion. We need at least 1, maybe 2 central midfield players to come in. What hell happened with that Tielemans thing? Is it because, we haven't got the money? I don't think so. We've got bucket loads of money. We've got more money than we know what to do with. So why wasn't it done? I mean, the thing to me is he's made Odegaard captain. So if he's fit, he's not getting dropped. He's not going to drop his captain. You've got Xhaka. He seems undroppable. So if he had bought Tielemans, where's he going to play? Unless he's going to radically change the formation, the bloke's not going to get in the starting 11 because he's not going to come in ahead of Partey unless Partey's injured. So the 3 main midfield slots, he's not getting into them unless he changes the way we play, and I just don't see him doing that. So, I personally, I can see problems coming in the horizon. And also, in addition to that, I just don't like the fella. I think he's a disgusting human being. The way he treats players is an absolute disgrace. Any other industry, he would have had grievance procedures come at him left, right, and centre. Because if I was managed by him, and like when I was working in the council, I would have hit him with a grievance procedure. The way he deals with people, he can't handle people. He can't. He doesn't know how to manage people. He's got questionable personality. Traits, and I just can't stand the bloke. I think he's a noxious, arrogant prick, and I honestly do. I've seen people like him before, and they always end up getting falling by the wayside because they end up upsetting people, and somewhere along the line they'll get their comeuppance. But that's my thoughts on it.
Oliver, I'll come to you, man. I know the answer already. How out of 10, how would you rate Arteta so far this season?
I think he's been good. I think his selections of 9 times out of 10 been very good. I think at Old Trafford he could have made changes earlier. I think the substitution issue is a bit of a concern. Maybe changing players a bit earlier. I don't think there's been any issues really major, so I can't see why you're complaining on. So, I can't see the complaints coming through.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Look, everyone's allowed for their opinion on my channel. Good, bad, middling, whatever you think. Kyle, I'll give you
There'll be some fucking complaints at the end of the season. We don't get top 4. I can guarantee you that.
Well, can we get top 4? Do you reckon we can now, the way we're playing?
Have to. It's a must, boy. It's a must.
And how would you rate Arteta's season so far? Just this 7 games or whatever.
You'd have to give him a good, strong. I give him a good, strong 7 or 8 anyway, that boy. His substitutions are questionable at times. I thought he got it completely wrong against Manchester United. Especially when he bought those 3 subs on at the one time. What the hell was that all about? It was only 2-1 at the time. We were still in the game. We still had a chance to get back. And I think he blew it then when he bought on the 3 subs. So that's why he doesn't get the full time from me. Because I actually do believe he blew us in Old Trafford. But listen, at the moment he's proven me wrong, there boy. And that's all I keep on saying is for these lads to prove me wrong. So I'm happy that we're at the top of the table. But it's not even end of September yet, and we do have major injuries like what Warren said already. There's key players out missing. And if anything else if something happens to Jesus, we're fucked. That's been and if anything happens to Ramsdale, the last 2 games Ramsdale has had to give me heart failure. Because if we're relying on Matt Turner to get in goal, you might as well have me in the goal.
Oh, come on, mate. He's the new Casey Killer, mate. Like...
Oh, my God. So I actually, but I still believe that the squad is too weak. It's still a very big squad.
Oh,
we had a 15 and a 17-year-old on the subs bench today. So that's where we could fall, then, boy. That's where we could fall. The squad not good, not strong enough. October is going to tell a lot there, boy. We will know we're not going into November where we really are as a club. But at the moment, Arteta's getting a strong 7 from me. At the moment.
Look, that's what I was just going to come on to there. I'm going to say it to Manny. Like, you know, October is huge for us. The Spurs game is a big game now. And I'm praying to God we beat them because they're doing me fucking head in. Liverpool game, I'm going to that. I'll be looking forward to that. There's another big game. The next 2 games, such big, like if we can get results out of these games, it will really, really show us where we are going to. Like, I always sort of go by 10 games. You get the gist of who's going to be challenging, who's going to be top 4, who's doing shit. What do you make of these few games coming up, Manny?
Oh, I think I told you, Dale. I think I told you that the upcoming games against Spurs and Liverpool will be a real test of where we are as a team and also on Arteta's chops as a manager. So I think you've said it. If we can try and get some results against them, it would be good. I did see Spurs destroy Leicester. And for all of the talk about how Tottenham did show some weakness in conceding those 2 goals, they also knew how to turn on the screw when it mattered. And let's also be honest, Leicester's defending in that game was absolutely diabolical. And this should be the game which sees Brendan Rodgers go. But Tottenham do look ominous. And the fact that they were able to drop Heung-min Son, bring him on with about not even half an hour left, and see him score an amazing hat-trick, that should be enough to frighten us. Now, it's very easy to say that, you know, all that Spurs have is Kane and Son, so we shouldn't worry about them. But no, that is fallacy, because since going into the transfer market and being more active than Arteta, Conte has brought in a terrific squad. I know that Steve-O and I have had some disagreements about this. We had a nice chat on the phone, and I remember his sage advice when he told me, mate, we've got to control what we can control. We've got to take a look at what we have and be happy with that. And maybe some of the players, he had some good points about some of the players that maybe in the long run they wouldn't really last the distance. But it cannot be denied that people like Ivan Perisic and Dejan Kulusevski have been quite pivotal to Tottenham's good start this season. And they did have a bit of a hiccup in the Champions League, but that is not anything that can't be overcome, in my opinion. Even given Conte's poor European record. So yeah, we need to try to show that we can get a result against Tottenham, and how we line up tactically will determine how we perform against that team. And then, of course, Liverpool have had problems this season. They've stuttered and stopped and stuttered. They haven't hit their stride yet. But the thing about teams like Liverpool is that when they come up against us, they find a way to raise their game by hook or by crook. So again, it is going to be a bit of a tactical battle. Their front 3 does seem to be getting into a bit of a decent groove, if not quite the finished groove that was there when the likes of Mane were in the team. I think with someone like a Nunez or a Diaz up there along with Salah, they're trying to form some sort of a chemistry. You can see that it's almost falling into place, but it could be come unstuck at some inopportune time. So how we tackle that will be the big key. And obviously with the likes of Henderson and Milner getting on, we can certainly look to try and attack them. So how Arteta does his homework against those teams will really determine everything. And that is where his chops as a manager will be determined. And Kyle and other people and Warren have hit the nail on the head brilliantly. As I've said, and as Steve-O will agree, our squad depth is dire. And all I can say right now is if Matt Turner is the new Casey Keller, I would like to see Kyle Walsh as the new Darren Randolph, because he's 6'3", built like a shed house, as he said. He might be able to stand in goal, and yeah, he almost looks like a dead ringer for the Euro 2016 hero. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing you in between the sticks, mate. You could do a good job there. So
Yeah, Manny, just a quick story, Manny. I went on holidays over in Spain, and I went into an Irish bar, and ordered I think it was Murphy's or some shit like that. And I was sitting at the bar anyway with the woman at the time. I was drinking away. Next thing, these crowdy young fella, about 10 of them came running over to me, asking me for pictures and autographs. I thought I was fucking Randolph.
Oh, mate.
That's why I had to laugh when you said it, because it reminded me back in the holiday. Jesus Christ.
What? Come here. Were they taking the picture because you were Kyle Walsh, or you look like Darren Randolph?
Unbelievable.
Ozzy, come here. I'll come to you. What do you make of the next few games coming up? Do you think we can get a result against these big teams?
Well, we have to. Are we going to get a result? Time will tell. Look, Tottenham Hotspur played very well against Leicester. We also played very well against Leicester. I think that's a good fact. I think it was a fact. I mean, we gave him a goal, and Son did show up in this game. Maybe now he's the tide has turned, and this is going to be the Son of old. You never know. But at the end of the day, we know that Conte is playing, a counter-attack. He's a kind of fucking manager that loves fucking sitting back and hitting teams on the counter-attack. Brentford are also a team that like to play on the counter-attack. I think what we have to do is play to our strengths, possession. And to be perfectly honest, I think we have to outmuscle Tottenham in this game. I think we've got to be a bit more physical. I think we've got to get in their face a bit more. Not be stupid like Rob Holding, but I think that's what we have to do against Tottenham. I think we can go to top. I think we can play Spurs and beat Spurs. I'm not saying Spurs are shit. I'm just saying that I think this Arsenal team can go up and get 3 points away from Spurs. I don't think Spurs are playing crazy great football. I know everyone's trying to look, they're winning games. So are we. So are we. They're sitting back, countering constantly. They're scraping wins. And when they scrape a win, I'm seeing even from Arsenal fans saying, do you see that? They got to win. If we scrape that win tomorrow, you'd be coming down saying, oh, we barely won. But if Tottenham get that win, do you see how they're performing? They're looking strong. So if Tottenham scrape a win, they're looking strong. And I think the problem is with a lot of Arsenal fans is that, we have a bar of Arsenal, which is right here, real high. And the bar for Tottenham is really low. So when we start comparing the two teams, doesn't matter what Tottenham do, if they get 3 points, doesn't matter how they get it, they got themselves a win. They're looking strong. Arsenal need to win in a certain manner for us to be accepting of the performances from Arsenal. You get what I'm saying? So I think we expect the win to be 3-0 Brentford every time, whereas sometimes it has to be a bit nasty. The Liverpool game for me is what scares me more than Tottenham, because Liverpool are a team that you can't fucking just say, nah, they're off form. They've got players in there that can make a difference. They're a team that need to rebound, and I think right now Liverpool are fucking hungry. So I think against Liverpool, that's going to be tough. I think we can get a point from Liverpool, but I don't think we'll get a win there. I really don't. I think Liverpool are going to come back with a full squad. You know what I mean? So then I'm pretty sure that their injury issues are going to be all out the window, and we're going to be facing a full squad Liverpool, which is not going to be a fucking walk in the park. I think it's going to be a tough shout. I mean, we can expose Trent Alexander-Arnold all day, but still not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Steve, let me just come in and say that the reason why we have that bar, as you say, is because of one person, Arsene Wenger. 22 years of him in the team and the style he had early on, we still can't move on from that.
Yeah, look, we've been successful, and this is, I was hoping someone would say it. It's because we've been successful and we've seen success that we measure our team to a certain. When it comes to measuring our team, we've got bullet points that we tick off and say that's good enough for an Arsenal. That's a good performance for Arsenal. Tottenham haven't won shit since what? When was it? They won the league in 1960, 61. So when it's like, oh, Tottenham looking strong, and what have they done? It's like, if you remember, guys, remember when Arsenal used to be under Wenger? We'd have all the possession under the sun, but we'd lose games. Possession doesn't mean shit. Being in the mix and not winning doesn't mean shit. Being in the Champions League and not winning it doesn't mean shit. Being in the Premier League, finishing fourth doesn't mean shit. So Arsenal right now, if they finish fourth, it's not a victory for me or anyone on this panel. Am I right? I'm pretty sure no one's going to be happy with fourth, but I'm pretty sure everyone on this panel would see aggression. You'd say, okay, now we're going up the ladder, up the ladder. You know what I mean? For us, it's about being competitive and then winning. So it's fourth, then third, then second, and maybe even first. That's what we want. Whereas Tottenham, on the other hand, are just happy to be in the fucking mix and get their fucking little participation award. That's Tottenham. They could win the league this year, and it still won't be enough to catch Arsenal.
Well,
you see, that's the thing. We grew up watching Arsenal win the league titles. And that's why I still to this day have that standard for Arsenal. To win
at their place. Titles. At their place.
But at their place. And up at other scum, Old Trafford. But
we done it there too.
Let me tell you, the problem I have is with Wenger, he was there like, when you think about it, yeah, great football, great times, all the rest of that. But in 22, 23 year reign, he won 3 Premier League titles. And I know we went on to feel it. But when you compare that to Ferguson, not too good now, is it?
No. Look, Fergie was a great fucking manager.
Great manager. But we grew up watching Arsenal winning Premier League titles. So I want my club to be still competing to win Premier League titles. It's 19 fucking years ago now since we won a Premier League title. This is Arsenal Football Club. And I don't know who it was. Maybe the fella is in the chat here today. And if he is, just send me a message there. Some fella fucking said something there the other night about me mentioning that I speak about Arsenal Football Club. And that time has gone. That time hasn't gone, my friend. We are still Arsenal Football Club. I still expect us to win the fucking Premier League. We're the third biggest club in English football. The last 18 years, we have been a fucking disgrace. It's time to get back to winning mentality, back to winning ways, back to competing. And fuck this fourth fucking spot. I'm sick listening to us. Fight for the fucking championship. You're 11 professional fucking footballers wearing the fucking badge. I want to see it. Go out and fucking do it. And if you can't do it, fuck off out of the club. Very fucking simple.
100%,
so
man.
Let's see now what happens for the rest of the season. But this Spurs and Liverpool game coming up, I swear to fuck, if they don't go out there and compete, and I know the Liverpool are a top club, top team, all the rest of it, we have to be up to that level now, Del Boy. No more excuses. It's 19 fucking years, man. No more excuses. We've spent 380 million on this current squad. Arteta's supposed to be the best manager, or young manager in the world. We have a fucking song that we sing at the games about him. Go out and fucking do it then. Show me we have the balls to beat these two fucking clubs. And if not, fuck off. That's all I have to say about this. Fucking sick of it. I want to compete to win the Premier League. End of fucking story. And this is Arsenal Football Club. So whoever that was in the chat, cop the fuck on, because this is Arsenal Football Club. Don't talk to me like we're fucking Brentford or we're fucking Barnsley or something like that. We are Arsenal. Always was and always fucking will be.
Exactly. Fair play, Kyle. Telling you. Ozzy, do you want to answer this question here from Paul? How did Ozzy become a gunner?
I was this far away from being a Liverpool supporter.
Oh.
Can you believe it? Yeah. I was being brainwashed it was a relative of mine, a cousin of mine. We used to watch the games together. Back in the days of satellites, you remember you had to have a massive satellite dish to fucking sort of steal the game, but you used to get your satellite dish and, do all that shit. So we'd be there watching Liverpool games. He'd just record them and, check this out. And I watched Arsenal versus Liverpool at Highbury. In that game, I watched Ian Wright score a double, and one of the goals was a ball that came in from Andreas Limpar. He dropped it straight to Ian Wright. Ian Wright jumped in the air and controlled it in the air. And I was like, the fuck am I looking at? And he scored. And it was only about 20 minutes later that Limpar scored from halfway. And I just, the atmosphere at Highbury, the way that the togetherness, I just sat there and go, I really like this team. And my cousin's like, yeah, Liverpool. I go, no, the other guys. And that was it. And I become an Arsenal fan from then on. And every game I watched, it was just Arsenal.
Yeah, no, it's because being a foreign fan, like, you know what I mean. I get asked all the time as well, like, you know. Manny, I've never actually asked you. How did you become an Arsenal fan?
Oh, I actually wanted to save this talk for a little private chat with Mr. Bartholomew because he and I were supposed to do something together. But I think I'll just say it quickly. It was 1990-91 season. That was after Italia 90, and I really only started to get into club football after international football. So international football is really something in where I'd talk with a lot more passion, if you will. But I do enjoy club football, and I think the first game I saw of Arsenal was also a league game at Highbury, but this time it was when we beat them 3-0. I think it was Merson, Dixon with a penalty, and Smudger Smith who scored the goals. And Liverpool at that time had this sort of high and mighty attitude about them. And I never knew about the 89 win. If I'd known about that, I would have enjoyed it more. But I never really got into football until that decade, if you will. But seeing Arsenal dismantled them in such a way, I told myself this was a team I really, really could get behind. And it was sad that Arsenal didn't have any members of Italia 90 in their squad. I know that David Seaman was in the squad, but that poor bloke had to go home injured and was replaced by David Besant. But I followed their results well. We were one game away from being invincible that season, lost to Chelsea under very unfortunate circumstances. But that win was so satisfying. And that win where we were able to show our chops and also produce some good football, I think that was at the season when I truly started following Arsenal and really, really enjoying them play. And I'm going to go into specifics later on with Warren sometime if he will, if that invitation is still there. Is it there, sir?
100%, mate. Of course it is. The only reason it didn't happen was because of all the madness that's been going on. But it will be coming back.
Awesome. Definitely, because I will have a lot of specifics to talk about with you. But in a nutshell, Del, it was that season which sort of hooked me onto the team. And I've pretty much, I mean, it was a struggle, mind you, because there was I very nearly became a fan of a different team, like our Aussie friend. But thankfully, I've been on the side of the red, and long may that continue.
Exactly. Warren, I'll just come back to the game today. Like, what are you going to make about the games coming up, like the Spurs game, Liverpool? Can we get results? You know what I mean? Because it's this is a real. It fucking gets to me. Like, we go on these runs and we're doing really well, and then we come up against a top 4 or 5 team and we just shit ourselves. Can we change it around?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Do you know? And we haven't got a good record against Liverpool. It's absolutely shocking, really. Spurs could be a bit tricky as well, particularly after what happened last season at the Lane. And who's the other game against?
Liverpool and yeah.
Liverpool and who else?
Spurs.
Who?
Spurs.
Just Spurs and Liverpool. There's no other. We ain't got to play Chelsea or anything like that, have we?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if someone has the fixture list there offhand.
But the thing is, for me, the problem we've got is all these clubs have got elite managers, right? And on top of that, they've also got owners who want to see their teams win, right? We haven't. We haven't got a manager who's tactically astute. We haven't got a manager who knows how to manage people. He's got hardly any experience other than what he's had on the job here. And we got an owner who doesn't give a shit. He's not interested in seeing Arsenal win. In fact, I would go so far as to say that he doesn't want Arsenal to win. And when he bought into the club, I'll keep going back to it. But he went on record as saying, listen, I didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. So that tells you all you need to know. He is not interested in seeing us being successful at the highest level. Getting in the Europa League, fine. But he does not want us to get in the Champions League because he knows if we get in the Champions League, he is going to have to spend an absolute bucket load of money for us to be competing. The money we spent so far ain't even going to touch the sides. And look at our squad. The squad is a shambles. It is. We're not competing at the top level with that squad. We're not going to. It isn't going to happen. We're not good enough. We're wafer thin. And for me, it's no coincidence that when we're getting near the end of the season and we're looking like we're going to get in the top 4, something happens and the whole lot falls apart. And it's no coincidence. It happened when Unai Emery was here, and it happened last year, right? So for me, I think there's something nefarious going on. And the dictators come from upstairs. Do not allow this team to qualify for the Champions League. I honestly believe that, and I know Ozzy Guna has got strong views about this as well. So I'll let him say if he wants to say something about it, let him say something, because I 100% agree with what he thinks. We've spoken about it numerous times, and I agree with him.
It's Warren. You know what, mate? Like, it's a dollars and cents world, right? And this is a business, and that's how they will see it. They're not emotionally involved in Arsenal. And what you're saying there is exactly how I feel, Warren. You know it. End of the day, this team can continue making money for the owners by just continuing to be in and about the mix in the Premier League, getting some sort of European football, even without winning it. They'll make enough money and make the team marketable. Now, Arsenal is about marketing. Football is about marketing. If you want Arsenal Football Club, right? If you want your owners, and this is a fact, trust me on this, it'll work. If you want your owners to take notice, right, to your opinions as a fan or as a group of supporters, and you don't like what's happening at the moment, you don't go at the owners. No. You go at the sponsors. And if you continue to go at the sponsors at the Emirates, the sponsors will be the ones asking the owners, what the fuck? And that's when the owners will do what needs to be done in order for the fans to shut the fuck up. And the owners at the moment, they know very well that if they get into Champions League, it means a bit of money, a little bit. But just like Warren said, the kind of players you're going to need to have on that squad and the kind of the kind of manager you're going to need are going to cost you. And it's going to cost you every season. So you're going to have to continue to refresh your squad, because if you don't, you end up becoming a participation award team. We don't want that. We don't want another Bayern Munich. There'll be too much uproar. So it's better not to be in the Champions League, so that way the fucking fans don't go crazy in uproar. And for them, it's easier to sit back and watch their investment of what was it about 1 billion? I think it was about $1 billion that they invested into Arsenal. Literally double, by doing sweet fuck all. We haven't won the Premier League. We haven't won the Champions League. We've won an FA Cup, and these guys have doubled their money. That is the best bank account you will ever fucking get, and that's Arsenal Football Club, and that's what the Cronkies have done. You get what I'm saying? And that's who hired Mikel Arteta, Edu, and the rest. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I see.
Yeah, look, I just wanted to just hit up on one or two of these comments here. Just Mr. B and stuff like that. You were saying, can you make me mod? I definitely will. There definitely will. But I think I need over 1,000 subs or something like that to get a moderator. I haven't a clue. I don't know. But definitely when I do, and Craig as well, 100%. You're the real ones in the chat. You know what I mean? And thanks a million for your support. And look, I don't even want to talk about this clown. Every time I see him, I'm just blocking him. But yeah, Kings, what's the story, man? How are you keeping, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually all the way in Gambia right now. So this is actually my first live appearance that I've done since I've been here. But overall, it was actually a great win. It was probably our best game from 0 to 90 minutes. I think Brentford is a very physical team, and we've tasted them before. We know that they are hard to play against, especially in their home ground. And I think the difference this season is the way we approach games. And I think it's helping us because we are much more of an attacking team who wants to control possession and wants to go forward with a lot of players. I think the balance is what we have struggled with a bit at the beginning of the season. But I feel like bar the United game, where I felt like it was more Ten Hag who outsmarted Arteta rather than we or the players being very poor. Obviously, some of the changes that he did kind of blew the game away. But I think in general, we've had a good season. I'm surprised that we have managed to get 18 points. Yes, you can say we should get 18 points, but we should have won a lot of games last season that we didn't. We should have won a lot of games the season before that we didn't, and the season before that. So the fact that we are winning the games that we should win is a positive. Now the question is, can we move on to the next level? Can we go on? And I mean, usually we win Spurs home and lose away, but now that we have had a good run of games, can we go on and add a win against what they call the top 16? I think that's where the jury's out still for this season, and it's going to be interesting to see because Spurs have won a lot of games as well, but they haven't played really well. They haven't really impressed me. I've watched them in Champions League and Premier League as well. I did miss the game yesterday though. I didn't watch them yesterday, but I feel like if we go there and we are not stupid, we can win that game. The big test would be the Liverpool game because they haven't had a good start of the season, and they're gonna want a reaction. And the perfect reaction is to get a big result against Arsenal. So that's gonna be the toughest game for me.
We've just seen the fixtures coming up, Warren. I'll just bring it back up here. Jez has them there. So there's the fixtures coming up. We've Liverpool. Spurs, then Liverpool. I'll be at that one. Leeds away, Man City at home. Are you confident there?
Well, the Man City game, we're not playing them. It's been postponed. And we're playing that Europa League game that got called off last week. We're playing that on that date. So that's another game we need to get rearranged. The reason that was done was because it was scheduled for midweek, and we need to get the Europa League games completed, the group stage, before the World Cup starts. So that's why that was done. And obviously there's not the pressure on the Premier League fixtures to get completed before the World Cup because it's not possible. But yeah, so Man United, Liverpool and Spurs at home. I don't have any confidence about playing Liverpool no matter where it is, to be frank. Spurs at home, we always do really well with them. I can't see any reason why that would change, except for that they are in good form. They have got a decent manager. It might be a draw, in my opinion, but Liverpool, nah. I can't see us getting anything out of that. We might, if we're lucky, if their sketchy form continues, we might get a point out of it, but that's about the best that we could hope for, I'd say.
Yeah. I think if we beat Spurs, it'll give us a good sort of foundation to play Liverpool. We could possibly get a draw, but I think we're given gifts all the time. You know what I mean? We gave United a gift. They still won't fucking stop talking about it. You know what I mean? And this is what we do, and it's so frustrating. We'll beat loads of teams and then come up against a United, Liverpool, and we blow our fucking shit.
See, that's the thing. As soon as we come up against anyone decent, it was the same last year, we get turned over. Where it happened this year, we went to United and our tactics were like all over the shop. We were too slow in possession. United were able to get back, pull players behind the ball, and they just hit us on the break. It was an easy afternoon's work, in my opinion, for them. So that's why I'm not confident about it, because I just haven't got any confidence in this manager to be able to act an opposition high quality coach. I just haven't. I just don't think he's got it in him.
Like, just what Darren is saying here. In fairness, Xhaka was vocal today as captain earlier in the second half. Like, we were only sort of, Martin, you were talking about that, like the who was shouting, like, tell them what to do and stuff like that. And look, I like to see that. I'm delighted he was like that. I'm happy that he is. That we need this sort of leader for the younger players to, keep them in check. Like, you know what I mean? Kyle. Like, has Shaka? Do you think he's changed this season? Like, is he getting brain farts all over the place like he was last season, the season before, the season before? Has he changed for you?
Yeah, I think he has matured a lot more. And I think this new role that he's playing suits him a lot better. And he is playing his best football he's ever played for the club at the moment. I have a quick question to ask the panel. Something that's just set my mind here while we're talking about Xhaka. Do you think, I'm just putting this out there now, not saying it's true.
Can you say that again? You just broke up there, man.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, we lost you there.
Just when he was about to talk about Xhaka, it all went to shit. You see what Xhaka does? Do you see what he does?
Yeah. And he's legging it. I think Arteta must be after him. He was. I was like, oh, yeah, say what.
He was on these. Oh, fuck. They found me.
He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Good one.
He's gonna want to have it Xhaka before he leaves.
Yeah, I think the Xhaka police are after him big time, But Manny, I just want to the international break coming up. Is it a good thing, bad thing for Arsenal?
Should be a good thing because at least in theory it'll give us time to recuperate and get some of the injured lads time to recover. They're certainly not going to be involved in international duty given that they're injured. And yeah, I do think it's a good thing. And if people are worried about fixture pile-ups, I believe UEFA have given a directive that Premier League clubs are more than welcome to play their backlogged games during the midweek on European nights if they're not competing in Europe. So when it comes to fixtures getting backlogged, I believe that somehow the Premier League, this time mainly thanks to UEFA, they find a way to get things done. It isn't pretty. It's not very convenient for a lot of people, but, it gets done and it gets done. So, yeah, the international break will be an advantage and our boys will recover well. A lot of people have been speaking of giving us a great deal of banter about how Ben White failed to make the England squad for the Nations League matches. Even Harry Maguire was picked ahead of him. But you know what? I'm happy that White's not been picked because, I mean, in terms of his form, he still has to improve quite a little bit. And it'll give him a chance to sort of, continue to train if he needs to, have some rest in between, and possibly, come back after the break a better defender if Arteta still plans to pick him as a right back. I still would prefer to see Tomiyasu as a right back option. The only problem is that neither of them seem to be able to overlap that much. And I should actually give Arteta some more credit because we were talking about how Xhaka was overlapping a bit. I thought Bukayo Saka, he didn't look as jaded or out of it as he did in games gone by. And I think the reason why is because he was actually more or less playing as part of a front three. Now, if you want to stick that guy on the right, I don't think you should put him as a right winger having to bomb up and down and sort of track back because he's naturally left-footed. And he's not going to be that type of person who can be built into a type of Mo Salah reincarnate where he can provide that sharp, in-swinging, cutting cross with his left foot on the right wing. I just don't know if he's built for that. When he plays for England on the left, he's a happy chappy, he scores goals, and he enjoys himself. But because he was playing a lot more up front, I don't think he was necessarily asked to come back too much. And he looked a lot better in this game than in games gone by. So I think Saka will be in the England squad, but if he's going to be picked in his favoured position, he might have a good time of it. And yeah, so it will be a benefit to a lot of our clubs. It'll be a benefit to Arsenal, especially. It'll give us some time to rest and recuperate, and we can also come up with a good plan of action for these subsequent games.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Kyle. I'm bleeding. I'm doing the river dance here. You can't see me. My legs are bleeding, flying here. I'm dying to know what you wanted to ask. I think. Can you hear me there?
I think he's going to answer the. I think he's going for
Oh,
a bit of a walk.
Come on, answer the door there. You're all right.
Can you hear me?
He answers the door and it's freaking Granit Xhaka staring at him.
We'll see how he reacts. Oh, he's after falling over. Someone knocked him out, I think. Yeah, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'm delighted. Were you surprised the likes of Ben White wasn't picked, Ozzy, for England?
No. I'm not surprised. Like, to be honest, Ben's been good, but he hasn't been great. Ben's been playing out of position. So what's he going to do? Go to play for England and play where? As a right back? He's not. And the thing is, he hasn't played centre back for long enough. And I think the more he plays right back at Arsenal, and 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10 performance at his best, the less chance he's going to have in England. You know what I mean? He needs to be seen as a centre back. And if he's going to play right back for Arsenal, number 2, he needs to put in a better performance. Now, I'm not saying he's not good because he's not putting in good performances as a right back. I'm saying he's not a right back. So it kind of playing for Arsenal, and the manager at the moment is taking him out at the knees when it comes to playing for his country.
Kings, I'll go to you. Why was Ben White not picked over Harry Maguire?
I mean, for me, I think this is the issue sometimes with Gareth Southgate, is that he doesn't pick players based on form. He picks them based on his favorites, and it's not just about Ben White. We've seen that with Tomori before. We've seen that with a lot of players. That Madison. Madison's been in great form last season. This season, he still doesn't get picked. And I feel like it's wrong. You should pick your players that are performing. At least give them an opportunity to come and show themselves and see if they can take the league form into the national team. And then if they can't, then you have the players that you trust. You can always call up them. And if they do pick their form into the national team, then you continue to play them. So I feel like he did wrong. I mean, the message should be that if you're not playing for your club team, you can't be representing the national team. That should be the aim for every player. And that should be the ground rule for me. And it's not a Ben White thing. It's not an Arsenal thing. That's just how I feel like the managers should pick the players, in my opinion. So, but again, I mean, for Arsenal, I think it's good. He gets a rest. He can focus more and do more, training, focus more on his position and keep on playing well. I mean, I think right now, I know a lot of fans don't like Ben White and they don't rate him, but I think he's been good this season. And I think he's played so well, and that's the reason we haven't seen more of Tomiyasu.
Mm-hmm. Well, would you keep him out over Tomiyasu?
I mean, until he plays, he needs to play himself out of his position, or Tomiyasu needs to play himself into that position. It's just, for me, it's never. For me, it's not that I don't have any strong personal feelings about players in general. So for me, I know a lot of people have a lot to say about Ben White and Granit Xhaka and other players. I'm not one of them fans, really. For me, I just look at whoever performs should play, whatever you name it. And right now he's performing, so he should play. And that comes from someone who really rates Tomiyasu. I think Tomiyasu is a fantastic right back, and I like his defensive attributes, and I like his calmness on the ball, and I think he's an underrated passer, actually, Tomiyasu. He's probably not the best if you want the right back that's gonna play like your Trent or your Reece James. That's not his game. But if you want the right back that can defend and stay in position and good in the air and comfortable with the ball on his feet, Tomiyasu is excellent. But Ben White's been good, so until he doesn't play well.
No, that's fair enough. Kyle's back. I'm bleeding, dying to know now. What's the story?
That just got. Can you hear me? Yeah.
yeah.
Just go to show when I speak about Xhaka, what happens. But no, I just ask you the panel there. Do you think we were actually in for Tillemans and stuff like that? Or do you think Arteta knew that he was going to turn Xhaka into a number 8 player for this season? That's the question I need to ask.
Manny, do you want to answer that? Manny, can you hear us?
I was on mute. My bad. I was eating some crackers. Yeah, I didn't want to turn this into an ASMR video, so I hope you can forgive me.
He's not sharing the crackers. He just didn't want us to know he had some. He didn't want to share some around, mate. Come on, we got to win.
Mate, listen. If I were in Sydney, you know that I'd be having you over for a meal. Do you like it?
Yeah. You talk a good game. You talk a really sure, yeah.
Come on,
no crackers.
That's not fair. That's
eating
not
on his
fair.
own,
You know it.
and he's hiding too, so no one can see.
Not hiding. You saw me put them in my mouth.
No one knew that you were eating crackers, but I'm pretty sure everybody on the panel wouldn't mind some.
You do realize that if I were with anyone right now, they'd be getting a lot more of it, okay? I wouldn't even mind cooking for any one of them. I promise you that. And I am true to my word when it comes to cooking. Do not impugn my honor, Steve-O. But anyway, I think I know what Warren's answer is, but I think it is quite fair to say that, when it comes to the type of attributes of Tielemans as a player, if Arteta knew that he already had his man in Xhaka and he already had some people like Odegaard and Partey and so forth who could complement him, would he have really been interested in trying to bring Tielemans in and, as Warren said, being in a dilemma as to where he could play him in? It's looking more and more to me like a bit of a smokescreen in some respects, especially with the dilly-dallying and so forth. I just think maybe in our heart of hearts we weren't really interested in him. I personally didn't really rate him as highly as I did Maddison. So, yeah, I don't even know if we were probably that interested in him, to be honest. Maybe it was just something to get the fans excited. And then when it all fell through, just say, you know what, it was what it was. Didn't want it to be a panic buy. All's well that ends well. That's Arteta in a nutshell.
Yeah. I'll take... Sorry, Ozzy, do you want to... What do you think of Kyle's comment there? Like, what do you make of it?
I don't think we're in for him. I don't think they're in for him. I don't think we're in for anyone. I think even the bids that we were making last minute were all fake. I don't think we were looking for any other midfielders. I don't think we had the money to spend on any other midfielders. I think Tielemans, I watched him for a season. And the reason why people might not rate him as high is the number 8 role is a role that most people don't really see too much. And a team like Leicester, right, that's having a little bit of a hard time going forward. A player like Tielemans is a number 8. He gets overshot. It's like, oh, what did he do? He didn't do much. But if you look at his positioning, if you look at his defensive work rate, he actually plays box to box. He's a really decent box to box midfielder. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like he's in a fixed Partey situation. But having a combination of Xhaka and Tielemans together in the middle of the park, I know it's not perfect, but you have 2 number 8s, one that's very decent defensively in Tielemans. He can actually defend very well. He's very good at tackling. Another one that's half decent going forward actually fits in and slots in very well. At the same time, if Xhaka is to drop off, then that means now you've got a player like Tielemans comes in and takes his position, much like Martinelli took ESR's position, much like now Ben White has Tomiyasu's. And at one stage, Zinchenko had Tierney's. So I like to have competition for positions. See, Xhaka right now hasn't got any competition. Tielemans in there, he'd be fucking playing out the skin. And you'd see it throughout the whole season. It's good to have problems.
Well, would Zinchenko not be a sort of a rival to him, let's say? Because he can play that role as well. And he played it well for Ukraine.
He's not too bad, Zinchenko, in the middle of the park. I don't think he's too bad. But I just don't think that Zinchenko in the middle of the park, for me, is a better option than Tielemans. I think Zinchenko is a makeshift DM, so sit back and just defend. But I don't think he's going to be a decent number 8. But I mean, look, end of the day, that was our transfer window. We all know that we needed a midfielder. We all know that. And I'm pretty sure Arteta knew it. I'm pretty sure all of them knew it. I just don't think the dollars and cents were even there to begin with. Because the Tielemans deal for about 30 million, come on. That's a deal that you make and you say, I've got squad depth. Then today, when you look at our bench, you don't say, oh, our bench looks mediocre. It doesn't. Especially with a player like that on the bench, ready to fight for the number 8 role. You know what I mean? Like an injury to Xhaka tomorrow, who comes in? You know, you put Zinchenko in there, you make shift. You put Lokonga in there, 2 like for likes, Partey and Lokonga. If you see those two play in the midfield, there's no movement on the ball. There's no, Fabio Vieira as a number 8. I don't think he's strong enough. So we're weak there. And that's why I saw Tielemans as a replacement to Xhaka. And if Xhaka can play better than Tielemans, fine. Fight for the position. Who's better? The best player on the pitch. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? So what do you do, eh?
Well, Warren, I want to ask you this because I know that you're a big Kieran Tierney fan. Would you play him on the left and drop, say, Xhaka and put Zinchenko in, or what way would you do it? Or do you play him, Tierney?
I'd have Tierney at left back, and I'd put Zinchenko in midfield. But it's not going to happen because I think I'm convinced that Xhaka must have something in his contract about that. If he's fit, he's got to play because Willian had it. We all know that now that Willian had that in his contract. And I wouldn't be surprised if Xhaka's got it. And it wouldn't surprise me if Saka's got it as well. Just because he never gets rested.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a young fella and he needs to take some time out or even like start on the bench and come off the bench and whatnot. But no, I would like to see Tierney at left back, and I'd like to see Zinchenko in Xhaka's position because when Xhaka's playing, I always get really worried about what he's going to do. He's give away penalties, get sent off, he'll 2-foot someone like he did at Man City the season before the last one, that game when we lost 5-0. He gets sent off at Liverpool and it's always something with this fella. And, there was all those allegations about the betting scandal and all the rest of it with him, with the yellow cards and whatnot. And I think there's something in that. I really do. Particularly after that booking he got at Leeds last season, where he was just standing in the central circle, waiting to take a free kick, and he kept looking around. And there was no reason why he shouldn't take the free kick. And the next thing you know, he gets done for time wasting and the referee books him. It makes perfect sense.
1 + 1 = 2, Warren?
I just think the fella's dodgy. I do. Apart from he's on-field antics and how much of a liability he is, there's something not right about the fella, to be quite frank.
But if he performs, I think everybody here is going to be happy.
I was told before from the contact, no, not the contact at the club, but I was talking to a fella that knows the contact at the club. And he told me that Xhaka has amount of games in his contract. And that's a fact. He said to me he had 25, that he has to play 25 games a season in his contract. But I actually believe that it's actually more. But I'm 100% convinced that is definitely in Xhaka's contract. A certain amount of games. I can't tell you exactly how many, but it's definitely in his contract, 100%.
Mm-hmm. See, that in itself is a sackable offence
for
whoever authorised that, because you can't do that. What if he's having a really bad dip in form and he needs to be taken out of the team? You can't. No, it's crazy. It's crazy talk. No. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that at all, and I think that's a sackable offence. I really do.
And it's like it's putting Arteta under pressure as well that he has to play him. No manager should be. You have handcuffs on there. It's not fair on the manager. You know what I mean? To say, hold on, he has to play. Like, what if he does want to put Zinchenko in that position and put Tierney in the left back? You know what I mean? It's such a restraint for Arteta. You know,
And
I don't know.
it's not just an Arsenal thing as well. I've heard rumours that this is going on at United as well, that Maguire's got something like that in his contract, and there's a couple of other players there have got it in their contract. So my question would be to these two clubs, the other club that's doing it, what incentive is there for a player who's got that in his contract to put in a decent performance? Because he knows, come up, mate, they're getting a big bumper paycheck at the end of the month, and they're going to keep getting played. It's a recipe for disaster. It don't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's a fact. Honestly, you'd probably go into training and get one of the boys to Martin Keown him. You know what I mean? Just fucking take him out. Or train like Martin Keown used to anyway, because you know how he was. Even in training, he was hurting fucking people.
Yeah. Look, guys, I'm gonna sort of wrap it up here now. My dinner's getting cold. Manny, I'll come to you. Do you want to shout out your socials and stuff like that?
Yeah, I will. As usual, I'm always happy to come on your channel, Del. It's a pleasure. No YouTube channel of my own as of yet, and I know, Steve, you've been ribbing me about this. I am thinking of something, and you will be the first to know. I can promise you that. But you can catch me on social media. You can catch me on Twitter, Fangatherai1981. That's my surname and my year of birth. Just catch me over there, have a chat. You can also see me engaging in some banter with a few Arteta-ins, putting them in their place and telling them, not today, son. And if you want a closer association with me, my Instagram is MannyThangatherai1981. That's my full name and my year of birth. And you can catch me on several channels on YouTube, S Feetly TV, Oris Talks Football, a few appearances on Hanno's Coach Corner, the Football for Thought podcast with NS Sports. You can also see me on a few videos on the Bournemouth fan channel, UTCIAD. They have a stream tonight. I'll be there. And of course, I cannot forget the one and only Del Boy Gunner TV, who gave me the chance to come on here. And it's been a wonderful relationship ever since. Love you, mate. An absolute diamond. And love to all of you in the panel. All of you are very close to me. Thanks again.
Fair play, pal. Fair play. Always welcome. Always welcome. Ozzy, do you want to shout out, mate?
Oh, mate, look, you guys are going to see me on YouTube. It's easy. The Aussie Gooner channel's there. Just Aussie Gooner on YouTube, and on Instagram, the Aussie Gooner. I'm on Twitter, but you know what? Not really. So, like, if you guys message me on Twitter, I can't use that fucking thing. I'm fucking shit with Twitter. So don't jump on Instagram and have a chat to me there, because Twitter's fucking absolutely shit. And look, if you guys want, have a look at my channel, Aussie Gooner. Little bit of this and that, you know how it is. I think everybody here knows a little bit about me by now. And you'll see me on, you'll definitely catch me on the Football Capital. And you'll definitely catch me on Northside LDN's watch-alongs for the games. And hopefully you're going to see me on Warren's channel again, so we can talk a bit more about football now that Warren's back. And Del Boy and Kyle, stop fucking around, mate. You know, I've been waiting on you. I got you on the yarn. Hurry up and sort your channel out, because I want to take over it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And thanks a million, mate, for coming on. Really do appreciate it. You're always welcome anytime, man. Seriously, we have to do a show. I'll have to jump onto your channel soon, big time.
Big up, bro. Cheers. Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Yeah. Warren, big up to yourself. I was tuning into you yesterday, getting all the info. It was fucking better than that Sky bollocks. So that's my new Saturday routine. Chilling out on the couch, Warren's on the TV, smashing it. Well, give us a shout out, man.
Okay, yeah. So you can find me on Instagram, Warren's Team Talk. I am on Twitter, but I can't stand it, to be honest. I'm thinking about shutting that down there. And also the YouTube, Warren's Team Talk. At the moment, I'm doing one stream a week while I sort of nonsense that's going on in my life. And that's the Saturday lunchtime show that Del Boy was going on about. Well, Saturday afternoon show. where I go through all the 3:00 kickoffs and just do my Sky Sports live show thing, and I absolutely love it. It's always a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, thrills and spills and madness. So come and check me out on that. I will be doing some other things soon as well. Hoping to be able to do something with Dell in the next week or two. We've been talking about that. We're not going to say what it is, but we will be hopefully being able to do it. I'm also doing my next paranormal show on Diesel's channel in the next week or so, I think it is. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's going to be absolutely massive. It's going to be wild. I'm really, really looking forward to this one because it's something that a lot of people have got very powerful opinions about, me included. So keep your eyes open for that because it's going to be great. Yeah, so that's me.
Fair play. Thanks a million for coming on. Fair play. And
me on, mate.
no problem at all. Anytime. I'm looking forward to that Diesel show. I can't wait to hear that. I'm dying to know what it's about. But Kings, do you want to give a shout out to your socials and stuff?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thank you to you for having me on, and thank you to this fantastic panel as well. It was great to join all of you, and big up to everyone that's tuned in today. It's been a good show, and Arsenal won again. And you can find me on King's Football Show. I do a lot of Premier League content and FPL content. So if you're into fantasy football or Premier League, do tune into my channel. That's my name on Twitter and Instagram as well. And hopefully in the future, I'll be able to do some collabs with Bellboy as well. And thank you again for having me on.
No, thanks a million for coming in. Really do appreciate it. Thanks a million. Definitely will. And just hit me up on Twitter or on Instagram or whichever. Kyle, do you want to shout out yours, mate?
Yeah, I just want to say, first of all, Del Boy, big up to you for having me on your channel once again, man. And listen, we were fucked around there last week, but we will be at the Emirates very soon. I still have those tickets. You know yourself, everything is okay. But big up to you, Del Boy, great show. And big shout out to the panel. Manny, top man as usual, son. And you're 100%. I have 100% respect for you, and big up to you. And get that YouTube channel started, man, because your knowledge is brilliant, and the way you come across is brilliant. Steve, all the way from Australia, big up to you for having me on your yarn, man, and big up to you for staying in touch with me there on Insta. The messages, the voicemails, 100%. I've said to him the other day, and I said to him here today. I've met a true friend down in the Australia. So big up to you, Steve, and going to get my channel sorted, and you're definitely going to be honest. All you guys going to be honest. But big up to you, Steve, and I'll be on to you. I DM you there again, man. Warren, great to have you back in the community. I know you've gone through a bit of a rough time there. Hopefully everything is going to work out for you. But this community is not the same without you, Warren. Big up to you, and I can't wait to see this paranormal show. I love those shows. I didn't catch you yesterday because I was on a 12-hour shift. Both, I'll be on to you next week. But Warren, big up to you once again. Thanks for all the messages, keeping in touch, and all the rest of it. King Football Show, I'm going to subscribe to you, and I'm going to keep an eye on your stuff, and hopefully we can do a collaboration someday. And to all the people who've seen the chat today, big up to you all. And Arsenal won. I'm a happy man. You'll catch me on Kai Walsh Gunner YouTube channel. I don't know what's going on with this fucking phone of mine, Del Boy. I did 2 videos there during the week. I went to upload. It's telling me that my memory is full. Listen, I'm useless when it comes to technology. So I may try to sort this out because it wouldn't let me upload 2 fucking good videos as well. I was raging. But anyway, listen, start of a new week tomorrow. So I get it all sorted. Kai Walsh Gunner, I speak facts. My standards are up to here, lads. People mightn't like it, but I just want Arsenal to win titles. End of story. So big up to you all, lads, and hopefully catch you all soon.
Yeah. Let me make one small announcement. I'll be very brief. You know, on the subject of Warren going through a bit of stuff, I also want to make sure that I big up Said's channel, King's Football Show. September is Suicide Prevention Month. Now, a lot of us might have some experience dealing with a few friends and loved ones who might have contemplated suicide over the years. Some of us might have even lost some near and dear ones to suicide. A small message, please reach out to those you love. Let them know that suicide is not an option. We're all valued in this world. We need each other. It is our job to uplift one another. If any of you feel any kind of have any issues with your mental health, or you're not feeling that good, please talk to someone, confide in someone. You might remember that song "Confide in Me" by Kylie Minogue, Steve-O. Let's confide in one another.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you're a Sydney. I forgot you're a Sydney boy. You're more into Akadaka. And I did a show with King on his channel not too long ago where we were speaking about mental health. I would like to promote that video and his channel. We were having a long discussion about it. If you can watch that video and subscribe to his channel, that would be really good. But once again, the message is, let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of one another. Let's uplift one another. Suicide is not an option. We cannot lose anyone in this world. Thank you all.
Brilliant. Well said, man. I completely back up that exactly. Just pick a phone up, even if it's texting anyone, like, Twitter or something like that, WhatsApp, whatever. Just engage with people. It's so important just to talk. You're not alone in anything like that at all. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm sure the guys here, even if you wanted to drop a Twitter or an Instagram message or anything like that, I'm sure the guys would respond, and I definitely would as well. But look, I wanted to thank the whole panel for coming on. Please do subscribe to their channels. If Manny doesn't have one yet, but when he does, and he better hurry up, as I say, you know what I mean? We'll all definitely be on and back you up 110%. I'm delighted Arsenal won today. Great. We're on top of the league going into the international break. It's nice. I'm gonna probably do a watch along for the Scotland Ireland game. It's on Saturday, so if you're around, please do drop by, say hello. If Ireland lose, I'll be fucking losing my shit. And I'm sure the fella right underneath me will be the same, So, look, thanks a million for the panel and everyone in the chat. I can't do this without you. And, I get bored and I wouldn't probably do this only for the love and the respect and everything that I'm getting off people. It's really kind and I really do appreciate it. So if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit the like button. I'll be dropping a few videos and all sort of stuff like that during the week. Thanks a million, everyone. Take care and God bless you all.